I want to go across to our guest joining us. Vineeta Hariharan is spokesperson of the BJP. Bhavya Narasimhamurthy is from the Congress party. I'm also joined by Prasenjit K. Basu, Chief Economist, ICICI Securities and author. Sanjeev Srivastava, senior journalist, is also with us. Let me begin with Bhavya from the Congress party. The government has, not for the first time, but even in this white paper, painted a picture that the economy was down in the dumps. It's not just the fact that there was policy paralysis, but there was also the specter of scams. There was also weak economic handling through the global financial crisis. And to maintain certain numbers that looked good, the UPA did great disservice to the fundamentals on many other counts, including infrastructure or expenditure on infrastructure, expenditure on consumption versus what they should have really focused on. Your first reactions to the government's white paper? Bhavya. Bhavya, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. Do you heard my question? If so, please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So, the very fact that they had to release a white paper after 10 years of their rule, comparing their performance with our performance previously, shows their desperation.
Why is this desperation?
That's because we are exposing them when it comes to people. What's affecting them actually is inflation. What's affecting the youth of this country is unemployment. That's the reality of the ground today. And the safety of women. And the atrocities on OBCs and SCSTs. That is the reality of India today. But they want to deviate that. The only thing they can do is by maligning the opposition, the Congress. If you remember, the response to the motion of thanks of Prime Minister was about Congress and not about the country and the problems country is facing. Or, you know, his response to Manipur, zero. His response to the wrestler's complaint, zero. All he cares about is maligning the Congress party, because to cover up their inefficiency, all they can do is malign the opposition party.
But Bhavya, can I just come in? Can I just come in? 1 second. Can I just come in 1 second? I thought you would welcome this. Why is the Congress party not welcoming the fact that the government of the day wants to talk about its economic performance? I thought this is the issues that you thought were the real issues of the day.
That's still the real issues of what we are considering. These are the real issues.
Yes.
That's exactly why we have released our black paper. That is the real issue. You know.
Yes, so can you respond to the white paper the government has released? Now, you keep talking about inflation. The government has presented a chart of inflation trend in UPA years. Now, unless it is your contention that this chart is wrong, you have to respond to the fact that you keep claiming that inflation is worse under the NDA when the figures prove otherwise. From financial year 04, 3.9% inflation to 9.4 in financial year 14, to during which it touched 12.3 in financial year 2010, to hovering to about 6% now. On what basis are you criticizing inflation control?
When you compare inflation of two different times, you know, 10 years ago and today, and what this inflation is based on, one thing, and they even are speaking about 2008 recession. I think that has been a historical time when then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh made sure it did not affect Indian economy like it affected other countries. That was one of
Actually, there is a chart here on how much India was affected because of the global financial crisis. Since you mentioned it, I just want to bring it to the notice. Out of emerging economies, Brazil in 2008 was affected, score was 5.1. By 2009, it became minus 0.1. China 9.6 in 2008 when the crisis first hit, 9.4 in 2009. India 3.9 in 2008, 8.5 in 2009. So by what parameter are we to judge how well the government handled the financial crisis?
See, there is inflation. Every country is different, right? What the parameters here, the population here is totally different from Brazil on one point. And when it comes to inflation, how Yes, inflation is calculated based on various parameters. But when you compare the actual things that affect people on a daily basis, the middle class and the lower middle class and the BPL, that is what is affecting the people of India.
Okay, can I invite Vineeta ji of the BJP to respond
Is
to
that
that? The
what
numbers
did you
on inflation, one second ma'am, Bhavya ji, the numbers on inflation, Vineeta, do not quite tell the crisis that the public may be facing. This is the contention. Yes, Prasanjit, I'll come to you. This is the contention I've heard many times, that actually people are in distress. And that distress is somehow not captured either in numbers of fundamentals of the economy or in the mood of the voter. Please respond to this.
No, I would say this is a democracy of the people, by the people, for the people. So the recent election results in the three states, the biggest states in the country, proves for itself the voter sentiment and the people sentiment and their acceptance of all the programs and policies that we are bringing to the ground. And it's not just on paper, we've proved it beyond doubt. We have proved it on the ground. We keep traveling to the states. We travel to communities. I've just come back from a nationwide tour through Jharkhand, Tamil Nadu, and Maharashtra, and we've heard beneficiaries speak highly about the programs
But
that the Modi
Congress
government
has also won state elections during this period in Telangana, in Karnataka. So, is that the barometer that you're going by?
No, that is one of the parameters. So the kind of elections that we have won, and the Congress has won it on false planks of guarantees and electoral guarantees, which they've already failed to deliver on the ground. So what I'm talking about is the actual delivery on the ground, which we have seen. We've heard it from the people. As you see, that it's not just the statistics of the white paper. If you can't believe the white paper, which is being backed by statistics, heavily backed by data and statistics. I was just going through the 59-page report. I think all kudos to the finance minister and all the bureaucrats who prepared this white paper, an absolutely brilliant white paper. I think the Congress is speechless now because they have nothing to counter this. The black paper which they have brought out is actually shows desperation on their behalf. It is quickly stitched up a black paper just before the white paper. That itself shows their kind of puerile way of reacting to.
I'll come back to how much the government is
after a great
confident
study.
of how much of this is going to matter in the elections. But yes,